What's up? It's Nelson from Gary and Nelson on Froggy 98 in Lincoln, Nebraska. Yes, they've got the voices of angels and asses that won't quit. You are listening to the Hoppy and Super Rich Show.
All right, welcome back to the Hoppy and Super Rich Show. The lines are blowing up, so let's get right to it. All right, we have a caller on the Hoppy and Super Rich Show. Hoppy and Super Rich, what's up, dude?
What's going on?
What up? What's your name? Where are you from?
I'm Daniel. I'm from Iowa.
What are you listening on? Are you listening from like the TuneIn Radio app?
Yeah, the app.
Oh, nice, man. We appreciate it. So what do you have to say?
All right. I have a story about douchebag cops from money.
Please go.
Oh, my God. All right, so I was after a night drinking with my friends.
So how old were you at this point? Like specify it, like get very descriptive for the radio audience. How old were you when you were drinking?
17.
Okay, 17.
And so this is last night, about 4, 5-ish in the morning.
Damn, this is last night? Wow.
Yeah, last night. And a little bit tonight, but anyways. So it's like 20 degrees, and it's like 5 o'clock in the morning. So I don't want this chick walking home by herself at like 6 o'clock or 5 o'clock in the morning. So I drive her to her house, and she, like, I drop her off, everything is good, but we drove by a cop.
Yeah.
And he was just chilling, like, a douchebag.
Oh, of course. Because it's the end of the month. It's the 31st. Of course, what a coincidence. Cops are chilling. You never see it 2 weeks prior on the 14th. But, hey, on the 31st, dude, the Iowa cops got to get their quotas in. And real quick before we go back, did you get some from this girl?
Okay, well, the thing is, she still has a boyfriend.
But that doesn't mean anything.
I'm working on it.
Good man. Yeah. Hell yeah. So what happened? Next.
Okay, so, like, I knew he was still sitting there.
Yeah.
So I waited for him. And I get back to my friend's apartment, which is literally like 2 blocks away.
Okay.
And I just kind of sat there for a second, and then he
Sat in the car?
Yeah, as I, like, get out of the car.
Yeah.
He pulls up, and he starts asking me a bunch of questions. Like he asked for an ID and looks at it and everything.
I hate when that happens. I hate when they pull up. They think they can just do whatever. Listen, I used to hang out with all black kids just because they were the most truest, realest kids, and they treated us like dirt. Like, I felt black. Like, they didn't just say, what did you do tonight? What did you smoke? Even though we didn't smoke weed, and they asked, are you drinking tonight? I would actually blow the breathalyzer just to prove those suburban douchebag cops wrong. Like, just because we're younger. I'm 21, but we're in the same age range. Like, we're young adults, and, like, they just treat us like dirt because we're young. They think they can get away with things because who is the cop department going to believe, dude? Who is the judge going to believe? A 17-year-old or the cop that's been there for 25 years getting the quotas in? You know what I mean?
Hoppy showing cops up.
Good. Screw you and your suburban cops. So what else happened?
Okay, so I get out the car.
Yeah.
And he asked me for an ID. And, like, here, if, like, before you're 18, you can't have, like, what's called your full life.
Yeah.
Which is, like, no restrictions, like, time and shit. So it's like 5 o'clock. So he's like, what are you doing out after curfew? And I was like, I was taking this girl home because I didn't want to walk her. I want her to walk in the cold because it's, like, 20 degrees.
Yeah.
And then he's just like, well, you shouldn't be driving out after curfew and all this. I'm like, sorry, I was trying to be a nice person. Now they consider a douchebag like you're being right now.
Listen, I actually like your vibe. You're not like the guy in that clip where you're trying to piss off the cop. Like, I can actually tell you didn't want the girl to walk back and have an earache and a sore throat the next day. Like, you're actually a good guy that wanted to drive her home, even though you want to get some from her. I'm just saying, the fact that the cop pulled up and tried to talk smack to you, screw him. Did you get his number by any chance, his cop number?
No, I was just so mad at that point.
Next time, do that. Make sure you write it down because these cops need to be put on hold and put on blast, dude.
I love how you got in trouble for doing the right thing.
Even if you're not supposed to be out past curfew, I mean, you're doing the right thing, and it's Halloween. It's a holiday. Shut up.
Like, that's just being a dick by saying, oh, go walk home in the cold.
Yeah, and, like, the thing is, though, like, my friend, he was, like, kind of passed out, so she was just going to walk home at first, and, like, either way, I was going to walk home with her. So that would have been even worse if we were to just walk back, like,
How drunk was the girl? Was she drunk?
I don't know if she was still drunk, because she was pretty drunk before.
Okay, so then that's even better. You helped her not get a drinking ticket because you took her home and she was safe. Maybe she got caught by the parents, but it's a lot better getting caught by your dad than getting caught by Joe Schmo, the fat suburban cop from whatever town you are in Iowa. So you did the right thing. I applaud you.
The cop's mad because he couldn't give her a drinking ticket.
And they have to get the quotas in. Like, I was actually one time at the courthouse like 2 months ago paying off I got a ticket going through a DUI checkpoint because I didn't have my license and I was slacking on getting my license. And I heard the guy say, "Oh yeah, man, we got so many busts at the Blackhawks parade." Or it was the Gay Pride parade. And he's like, "Yeah, all these guys were bringing backpacks and we got so much alcohol." And the cops had a high five moment. Number one, you look like dorks when you do a high five. And number two, how are you proud of yourself for at a proud event like the Gay Pride Parade, ruining everyone's day by saying, "Oh yeah, you have Smirnoff in your backpack. Here's a ticket." You know what I mean, dude?
He only cares because a lot of their pay gets based off of how many tickets they hand out.
That's what it is. Isn't that how it is in Iowa?
Yeah, it's like, I'm not exactly sure how much it is, but I know that cops do get paid for pulling people over.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure they get to keep some of the ticket. Yeah, a lot of their bonus money and a lot of their money does come off of the tickets that they hand out. Well, that's where a lot of extra money comes from.
And then here's the best part. I've gone up to cops at like festivals, or I've gone up to cops when I took this first college class like 2 years ago, and it was like, "Welcome to Harper College." We had a cop walk in, and I asked him, "Do you guys have quotas?" And he straight up said no. So, dude, these cops try to lie and say they don't have quotas because they're embarrassed that when you're a suburban cop, you really have nothing to do. So you just bust up these teenagers trying to have fun, especially in Iowa, where there's really not much going on compared to the Chicagoland area. Imagine how much more pressure they have from their deputy or their head boss saying, "Get the quotas in. Bust the kids having fun on Halloween. Bust that one kid who was being classy by taking a girl home, even though he wants to bang her."
Yeah.
So was that all that happened, or what else happened?
Well, what I was going to say was, I got pulled over last summer going to baseball practice because it was late.
Yeah.
I was going like 73 and a 55.
Jesus.
But it was like an undercover state trooper who pulled me over.
Oh, those are the worst. Cowards.
Oh.
Like, I thought there was a person behind me being pulled over. It
Yeah.
was really me. And so, like, he pulls me over, and this was, like, literally a week after I got my license. And, yeah. And, like, he pulls me over. He's like, "Where are you going that you're really going so fast?" I was like, "Well, I'm kind of late for practice," when I was really going to meet up with a girl. But
Pimp.
anyways, so like he makes me come back to his car, and I honestly sat in his car for like 40 minutes. Like, he made me more late. Like,
That's actually prolonging a stop.
Huh?
That's actually prolonging a stop. Like, that's actually a bad like traffic stop.
Yeah, like he made me leave the car running for like 40 minutes, and like, really, but he was kind of nice, and he reduced the ticket from like a 73 to 65, still $115.
Jesus Christ. We got a live tweet here at WNUR 89.3 from one of our fans of the show. Her name is Dad Cornbread on Twitter. But she said to say to you, "Dude, I've been to Iowa. If you couldn't outrun the cops, he is ate up. Not anything going on there." Like, why aren't you trying to, like, outrun them? Like, are
I
they
wouldn't.
just... Actually, that's a good point. I mean, she's probably being crazy, but, like, are there cops just, like, chilling everywhere looking for anything in the middle of the cornfields?
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, that must suck. What town are
Oh,
you
man.
in? What, like, city are you near?
Well, like, where I live in a really small town, but it's a town in Boone,
Okay.
and I go to school in West, and it's like a half hour from my house.
Is it by, like, Cedar Rapids or Des Moines or, like, the Quad Cities?
It's like an hour and a half north of Des Moines.
Oh, my God. So it's like the middle of nowhere. If you're not even by Des Moines or Cedar Rapids or
Is there
Quad
a
Cities.
police station near you?
Is there a what?
A police station?
have it by sheriff, but that's pretty
Is
much
it in like the same like building as like the fire department, the hair cutting place, the library, the movie theater?
It's like a good old 1950s television town.
There's like tumbleweed going across the street.
Are there like usually cops from other towns or other stations usually camping around looking for people to pull over?
Is it like a big team effort?
Mostly it's just the sheriffs that try to do that. Like,
Ugh, sheriffs are the worst. Oh, they're such
I know.
tools.
And then, like, last week, me and my friend, we were just like cruising around town, and there's some state trooper just like patrolling around town.
Those are the worst. Those are the hands down worst.
State troopers, like I thought they were only allowed on the
Scumbags.
highways.
Scumbags.
Yeah.
Like I thought they were only allowed on the highways.
Yeah, like what the hell are you doing driving around in a town? You're supposed to be patrolling the state, not a town. What the cops are for.
Oh, man. Dude, I'm glad I don't live in Iowa. Like, cops out here, I actually was going, like, how fast was I going over when there was a cop parked in the...
You're going, I think, 12 over, and you're like, am I speeding? And they're like, no, I'm
and the cop
speeding.
didn't pull me over.
Yeah, the
but if
cop-
I lived in Iowa, 90 minutes north of Des Moines, I would have been pulled over and taken in for life.
Well,
Actually, funny story.
And that's
funny story.
Before you get to that, the thing is, we were the only car in sight, too, so he was staring right at us.
All right, and what's the funny thing that happened, K-Wall?
All right. Well, you know Dundee Road in Buffalo Grove?
Yeah, it's like the hot road. Like, to the guy listening, what's your name, Daniel?
Yeah.
Yeah, this road literally is like cake, and all the ants are the cops, and they're just eating up this road. Like, at the end of the month, it is not safe to drive down this block.
No.
You could be going 2 miles over the speed limit,
And they'll pull you over.
or you could be smoking a cig, and they'll pull you over just because they're trying to get the weed bust. Like, this road has DUI checkpoints, and whenever you drive down that road, I count how many cops I saw. This road, actually, I got pulled over for going 15 over 2 days ago. After that, I counted 9 cops. So what happened, Cable? I just wanted to describe to him how awful this road is. Dundee Road. Screw you, Buffalo Grove cops. Enough of you.
All right, so I was just passing my high school, going east, like towards the Taco Bell on Dundee,
Yeah.
and like just past my high school, like there's these like all these like old car dealerships.
Yeah,
and
it's
stuff.
like an empty car dealership. Yeah.
They're like almost every other day. I swear, there's a cop sitting there just waiting for someone.
That's what I said. They always wait in like empty grocery shops or an empty movie theater. Is that how it is in Iowa, Daniel?
like
They're
the
always in like the empty parking lots. Like whenever you see a place closed, you're like, God damn it, that's where the cops are gonna hang out now.
It's like they don't have a life, and they're just like who wants to just sit and wait in a car all day?
All right, before we let you go, do you have anything else to add? And do you have a request? You want to hear any song?
I do have something else to add about douchebag suburban cops.
Let's go. I love that we're blowing it up. Because you know there's a cop who's doing the overnight quota check, you scumbag that's listening. And he's like, God damn it, I'm being put on blast in the Chicago radio market. So what happened?
All right. I haven't lived here all my life. I moved here like almost 2 years ago
Okay.
from Cleveland. And, like, this is like the last night before I moved. And, like, me and a couple of friends were just chilling outside in front of the house.
Yeah.
And someone had the nerve to call the cops on me and my friends, and they know us. Like, they called the cops on me because we're standing outside next to the U-Haul.
That's happened to me. We've had the cops call me and my black friends because they think we're up to something in my nice suburban neighborhood. That is the worst. And then the cops are trying to find something, and then you're mad at that MILF who you thought was a cool MILF in the neighborhood, and she ends up being a dirty, rotten bitch that calls on you.
Do you want to
know
hear
what I
my
mean?
stories?
That's my next door neighbor.
My neighbor's
It's everyone's next door neighbor.
my neighbor's been arrested 3 times for being black. Not even kidding.
There's got to be more to that. I'm not-
Okay, so he went to a fast food restaurant with a couple friends, and then they were white friends, and the cops saw that he was black and had no warrant, demanded to search his car, and of course the cop found weed, so he arrested him. Except it was an illegal search. Another time,
I do believe that because they just begin saying words and they have that look in their eyes where they intimidate you and you know it's not right, but you're not sure what to do because it's the spur of the moment. You're like, what should I do? And they're just like, can I search your car? And you know you should say
Just
no.
say no.
But it's just, I'm not saying this has happened to me because it hasn't, but I'm just short for, like, Risky's friend. You're just like, your heart's pumping, and you're like, how can I get out of this, you know?
Yeah, and
they're so intimidating because they're probably taught how to be scary scumbags.
I completely agree because he was with a bunch of white friends, so the cop thought it was sketchy, and you don't know how to react to that. And then another time, he was just driving by, wasn't speeding or anything. The cop saw that he was black and went and pulled him over and demanded to search his car. Searched his car and arrested him again.
But what did he have in the car that he got
Weed.
taken in for?
Still, he can't arrest him for that, for illegally searching him.
And I bet it was like a half a
Well, maybe
dime.
he should stop driving with weed, though, too.
Yeah, but, that's what his grandma keeps yelling at him about. He shouldn't be driving around with weed.
Yeah, you think, but
it's ridiculous though. Even though he was wrong to have the weed in his car, the cops should not have illegally searched his car. Like, they were demanding to search his car. He got arrested just for walking into a fast food restaurant with friends.
If your friend is listening, or he's listening on the podcast, next time film it. When I got pulled over 2 days ago, I filmed it. It was the most anti-dramatic. Nothing happened, and I got a citation.
It was a female cop, wasn't it?
She was really hot. And I played the sad card, my parents want me home now. I'm so sorry. But my point is, whenever you get pulled over and you think it's sketchy, Daniel, Super Rich, Risky, K-Wall, or Risky's friend, or anybody listening to WNUR, make sure you film it because you can get these scumbags in trouble and ask for their badge number and their name on the video so they're in even more trouble because you might not be able to film their face, but then you have even more proof that these suburban scumbags are running the system just to get the quotas in. Enough of you.
One time I saw a video, this was on the internet, there was a truck driver, he was going about 65 in a 60, he was going 65 in the 60, and then a state trooper goes blowing past by him. He said he was going about 90. He was talking on his cell phone, and then the truck driver honked at him, and then the cop pulled him over for unnecessary use of the horn. And
I've seen this.
Yeah, and he filmed it. And then right when the cop was saying, "Oh, I'm above the law, I can do whatever I want," he told him it was being filmed, and the cop left to go right in the ticket. He's like, "Yeah, I appreciate you that you were looking out for me and you wanted me to be safe." He literally said that,
cop.
and he literally said that, and then he's like, "Yeah, I'm not going to write you a citation for just wanting me to be safe."
And here's my last thing before we let Daniel go and we go to a break and we play his request. Here's my thing. I don't want the cops out there who are hardworking cops in Chirac, which is the nickname for Chicago, sadly, because we have more murders than Iraq per mile. But I don't want you thinking that I hate the cops, that I don't respect them, that I don't think they work hard. You put your life on the line every day, even the suburban cops. You don't know if it's some wacky nut job who might shoot you just when you're getting pulled over.
Or like what happened in Arlington Heights 6 months ago.
Yeah, it was during the winter. That whole there was the main
situation.
Yeah, the main road got shut
backyard.
down. Yeah, the main road in this town got shut down. But my point is, for the most part, suburban cops have it easy. You get free food at Chipotle. You get free food at the local Speedway. You get free food at Dunkin'. You got to get your quotas in. Oh, my God, it's so high-pressuring. How are you going to sleep at night? You have to get the quotas in at that town 90 miles north of Des Moines.
Well, they do work long hours.
I'm not saying it's an easy job. They do work long hours. That's why they're always at coffee shops. But then they act like we're disrespecting them when they're just running the system, trying to get their quotas in. I think it would be a lot better if we didn't have quotas and it was more fair and they didn't have the pressure to get them in, so they just pull over teenagers like Daniel, like me, like everybody else. Enough of you.
Illinois actually abolished quotas.
No, they didn't.
Yeah, actually, they did.
They may say they will, but then why are they out at the end of the month? Someone tweeted me that too. It's not a way. If quotas were away, they would have no pressure and they wouldn't be out at the end of the month and they'd be out 24/7. Do you agree with me, Daniel? If quotas were actually taken away here, they'd be out 24/7. But it's a little sketchy that when they say they've been taken away, they really haven't been taken away because they hang out at the end of the month. What's your take?
Yeah, I think I agree. If they weren't pressured to actually be out there and have just a goal, they would be out there in a month. They'd just be eating their free food at Chipotle and enjoying life instead of you douchebags.
One time,
scumbags.
Yeah, this was last year.
Last one.
One time, me and my friend, we walked into Dunkin' Donuts a little past midnight, and then there's two cops in there, and then they just kind of look at us, and they walk up to us like, And this is a Monday night. It was like Tuesday morning because it's like a little after midnight. And they're like, don't you guys have school tomorrow? And it's past your curfew. And they asked to see our IDs. So we showed them. They said we were both 18. Like, don't you have school tomorrow? And we were like, no. Like they were like mad that we were going into Dunkin' just to get a. I got an iced tea and he got a coffee.
How
like,
dare
really?
you make me wait 2 minutes to get my coffee and my donut, fat ass cop. All right, what song do you want us to play, Daniel?
Oh, God.
What's the first song that hits your mind? Like, what's your favorite genre?
Okay.
What do you want us to play? Anything?
Okay, well, you pick.
How about this? I got a good one. It's techno, but it's good techno. It's called Don't Be a Douchebag, and it's by the Jump Smokers. And I dedicate this song to all the suburban cops out there that think they can run the system, that think they can pull over young adults just because we don't have as much authority as the next cop. I'm just done with suburban cops. And Daniel from Iowa, thank you for calling the Hoppy and Super Rich Show at this time of the night. We appreciate it, my man.
Thank you, dude.
Spread the word in Iowa.
Also in this break, we did get a request before Daniel called to play Candy Shop by 50 Cent.
All right.
Hey.
First, we're going to play Don't Be a Douchebag. And Daniel, watch your back. Those cops in Iowa sound real scary. Thank you, sir, for listening.
Yes, sir. Anytime.
Peace out. All right. Here is my song dedicated to all the suburban cops. We will be right back on the Hoppy and Super Rich Show here on WNUR 89.3. After this, hang on.
The Hoppy and Super Rich Show.
Don't be a douchebag.
You suburban cops.
Don't be a douchebag.
This is an official broadcast of Hoppy Radio. For more info, check out hoppyradio.com and hoppysworld.com.